Hello there, welcome to Crafted in His Image and this episode of Technique Tuesday. Today we're going to make a Blendabilities bookmark, and Blendabilities are Stampin' Up's new alcohol markers rather than water-based markers. They come in sets of 3. You have a light, a medium, and a dark shade of the same color. This is our cherry cobbler assortment, and each marker comes with both a thin tip, fine tip, and a brush tip. So we're going to use those today. We're going to play around with them a little bit and make us a bookmark. We're also going to use one of our stamp sets that is made to go with a coordinating punch. This is the Flower Shop stamp set. But one of the things I found with this particular set is that it is not a symmetrical set, which means if you stamp it on here and once you flip your paper over, sometimes you may have a hard time getting this to line up with the petals exactly, because each of these petals is not exactly identical. So one of the tricks I found when I got this set, I opened up and I found which petal, which turned out to be the very bottom petal on the set, lined up on the bottom of this, and I just took a permanent Sharpie marker and I just marked right along the little foam and right on the top of my label, so that I know that this end needs to be at the edge of the paper when I'm stamping, so that I can, when I turn this over and punch, it's going to line right up with those petals and be able to punch it out. So let's get started. I'm going to move this out of the way and get our flower on here. With the Blendabilities markers, you're going to want to use the Memento ink pad. This one will not bleed or blend into the colors while you're blending. And for this particular project, you want 2 of the same flower. So I'm just going to stamp one here and stamp another one. Whoop, almost did it. I need to turn that around so that that dot is down at the edge of my paper, so that this is going to line up well. And then you want to give it just a few seconds for it to dry before you start coloring. Set that aside. Give this a few seconds here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with, I prefer to start with the darker color. They say you can start with the light and go through light, medium, dark. I prefer to start with the dark because you usually don't have as much of this color on, and then you use the lighter one to really color over all of it and blend it together. So I'm going to start out with the light, or the dark. And these pens really get on there really tight, and it helps keep them from drying out. What I'm going to do is, this particular stamp set actually has kind of some shading already done in there, so I'm just going to go right along that shading and just use my darker color and just kind of color that in. A little bit up in here. Then I'm going to use the medium shade. Again, I'm using the fine tip on this one, and I want to actually blend the 2 colors together. So I want to go over the dark shade with the medium shade. So I've got a little bit of that medium color on there, and then I'm going to go over and I'm going to use the lighter shade. Now with the lighter one, I'm actually going to use the brush tip because I'm going to color in this whole petal, the whole flower with it. And I'm going right over top of those darker colors, and it's going to just blend those colors together. See how that just blended right in there? Just, you don't even notice that darker shade there anymore. Now we also have what's called our color lifter, and it doesn't actually lift the color as much as it kind of pushes the color around. And so I'm going to use it just to give a little bit of highlights on the edges of some of these petals. Let me try the other tip. See if that works. Just kind of push the color around a little and just highlight what would be the lighter parts of this flower. And there you have a blended flower. And I'm going to finish with this part here, and you'll see with this one, after I was done, I went in with a little bit of our glue and some sparkly glitter and just kind of put a little bit of sparkle, because I like sparkle. And now I'm going to take our punch, and I'm going to line this up, punch this one out, and I can go ahead and punch out the one I just did. See how that lines up really nicely? And out it goes. So now I have 2 flowers. And I'm going to use a bone folder on this flower here. Is going to be my back flower. And that's why I didn't worry too much about this center section. It's going to be completely hidden. And I'm just going to curl up 3 of the petals. Just 3 of them. But on this one, I'm going to curl all 5 of the petals. Now, one of the things I have noticed with alcohol markers is it goes through the paper, as you can see on the back sides of this. So this is not something you're going to want to use on a piece of paper that you're going to see the back. It's something you're going to want to put on, maybe on the front of a card, so that it's going to hide this area here. Although that does kind of look like stained glass there. Then we're going to take one of these large jumbo paper clips, a little bit of hot glue here. Ooh. I'm going to stick this paper clip. Now I'm putting the paper clip so that it is on the 2 flat petals. And I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to just kind of alternate it from the petals on the bottom one. Woo, and I had my hot glue gun on high instead of medium. And there we go, one finished bookmark. Kind of fun. I like using this in my catalog to keep my pages and in my calendar every day. So there you have it, Technique Tuesday, using our blendability markers and making a cute little bookmark. Well, till next time, bye.